Hello and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you tuning in today. We are absolutely delighted to have you here, and I want to take this very special moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to all our new viewers, our loyal subscribers, and everyone who is joining this journey with us right now. This video is not just a simple start, it is the beginning of a meaningful connection between you and this channel. So let's get it started. The 1998 United Kingdom 2 pence coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II represents an important piece of British numismatic history, reflecting not only the economic and monetary landscape of the late 20th century but also the continuing evolution of the decimal currency system introduced in 1971. The 2 pence coin, with its relatively low face value, was nevertheless a crucial element in everyday transactions, particularly in an era when cash was still the dominant form of payment. Vending machines relied heavily on lower denominations, and coinage maintained both a functional and symbolic presence in daily life. The coin minted in 1998 is part of the decimal coinage series that replaced the pre-decimal system of pounds, shillings, and pence that had been in use for centuries in the United Kingdom. The obverse of the 1998 2 pence coin features the fourth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the renowned sculptor Ian Rank Broadley FRBs, whose initials, IRB, appear just beneath the monarch's neck. This portrait, introduced in 1998, is particularly notable for its more realistic and less idealized representation of the Queen, depicting her with greater maturity and detail compared to previous portraits, marking a transition from the Raphael Makhlouf portrait that had been used from 1985 to 1997. The Queen is shown wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most iconic pieces of jewelry, a gift originally given to Queen Mary in 1893 and later passed down to Elizabeth II. Surrounding the portrait are the inscriptions, Elizabeth II DG. Reg. FD, which stand for Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, translating to, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, along with the year of mintage, 1998, positioned to the lower right. The reverse of the 1998 2 pence coin continues to bear the design introduced at decimalization in 1971, created by Christopher Ironside, a celebrated artist and coin designer. This design features the badge of the Prince of Wales, which consists of a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, with a ribbon below bearing the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This emblem symbolizes the heraldic badge used by successive princes of Wales since the 14th century and is historically tied to Edward, the Black Prince. Around this central motif are the words, 2 pence, at the top, and at the bottom is the numeral, 2, indicating the coin's denomination. Unlike the older pre-decimal tuppence, which was worth 1/120th of a pound, this decimal 2 pence is worth 1/50th of a pound sterling, as 1 pound equals 100 new pence. The edge of the coin is plain with no milling, a feature standard to the 2 pence denomination. In terms of specifications, the 1998 2 pence coin was minted in bronze, composed of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, weighing 7.12 grams, with a diameter of 25.91 millimeters and a thickness of approximately 1.85 millimeters. These bronze specifications continued until 1992 when the composition of 2 pence coins changed for circulating coinage to copper-plated steel due to rising metal costs. However, the 1998 coin was already part of this new standard of copper-plated steel for general circulation, though some bronze issues were struck for special sets. The change to steel meant that post-1992 2 pence coins, including the 1998 version, are magnetic, unlike their earlier counterparts. The Royal Mint, responsible for minting the coin, produced these in Llantrisant, South Wales, which had been its main production site since the early 1970s. The 1998 2 pence coin was minted during a period of economic stability in the UK under the government of Prime Minister Tony Blair and Chancellor Gordon Brown, and while the denomination was not of high value, it was widely used in shops, car parks, phone boxes, and vending machines. The exact mintage figure for the 1998 2 pence coin for general circulation was significant, running into hundreds of millions, ensuring its wide availability throughout the United Kingdom. Coins from this year were also included in brilliant uncirculated (BU) sets and proof sets issued by the Royal Mint, which are now of particular interest to collectors due to their higher quality finish. From a numismatic perspective, the 1998 2p coin is not considered rare in circulated condition, as it was mass-produced and remains relatively easy to find in pocket change even decades later. Its face value remains 2p, and in most cases, its monetary worth does not exceed that unless it is in uncirculated or proof condition, where its value may range between £1 and £3 depending on market demand and quality. For collectors, however, its significance lies in being the first year to feature Ian Rank Broadley's portrait, marking a key transition point in the obverse designs of British coinage. The historical context of the coin is also notable. In 1998, Britain was still several years away from introducing the new series of coins that would later feature Matthew Dent's Royal Shield design, introduced in 2008. Thus, the 1998 2p represents the final decade of the original decimal coinage designs before they underwent major changes in the 21st century. It also reflects a time when low-denomination coins retained practical purchasing power, a contrast to the present day where inflation has significantly reduced the buying power of 2p coins. In terms of collecting interest, many numismatists seek 1998 2p coins in brilliant uncirculated (BU) or proof condition, as these have sharper details, deeper luster, and are more desirable for display purposes. Proof coins are struck using highly polished dies and planchettes, resulting in a mirror-like field and frosted relief, making them visually distinct from circulated coins. Such sets often come housed in official Royal Mint packaging, which adds to their collectible appeal. Over time, the cultural significance of the 2p coin has evolved. Although still legal tender for amounts up to 20p, it is increasingly seen as a low-value coin often relegated to change jars and charity boxes. However, coins like the 1998 issue remain an essential part of the heritage of British coinage, documenting the reign of Queen Elizabeth II during a period of great social, political, and technological change, including the rise of digital payments and the approaching new millennium. The condition grade of a 1998 2p coin greatly influences its desirability among collectors. Coins graded as UNC uncirculated or BU brilliant uncirculated exhibit no wear, sharp rim details, and full original mint luster. In contrast, circulated examples often show scratches, contact marks, or dull surfaces due to heavy handling. Collectors typically evaluate such coins based on standardized grading systems like the Sheldon scale, ranging from poor P1 to mint state MS70. When examining a 1998 2p coin, one can also appreciate the engraving artistry and minting technology of the era. Ian Rank Broadley's portrait, in particular, emphasized realism and depth, responding to public demand for a more lifelike portrayal of the Queen after the idealized Makhlouf portrait. His work was lauded for its boldness and became the standard design on UK coins from 1998 until it was succeeded by Jodie Clark's fifth portrait in 2015. The legal tender status of the coin remains intact, although its use in modern commerce has declined due to rounding practices in some areas and the dominance of contactless payments. It has not been demonetized and can still be spent in the UK. Discussions about the future of the penny and 2p coins have occasionally arisen due to their declining use, but as of now, they remain an integral part of UK coinage. For those interested in numismatic history, the 1998 2p serves as a bridge between the traditional designs of the early decimal era and the contemporary issues of today. It is a reminder of the enduring legacy of Queen Elizabeth II's reign, the artistry of British coin designers, and the dynamic nature of currency as both a practical tool and a historical artifact. Next coin, the 1959 United Kingdom halfpenny, 1/2D coin featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a remarkable piece of British pre-decimal currency that reflects both the historical and economic landscape of mid-20th century Britain and the early years of Queen Elizabeth II's reign. This coin, though of small monetary value at the time, played a very important role in daily life during an era when even the smallest denominations had real purchasing power. In the pre-decimal system used before 1971, there were 12 pence to a shilling and 20 shillings to a pound, meaning 1 pound equaled 240 pence, and thus, a halfpenny was equal to 1/240th of a pound sterling. Despite being a fractional coin, it was widely used for purchasing everyday small items such as newspapers, bread, sweets, and for use in public telephones, vending machines, and transport fares. The 1959 halfpenny belongs to a series of coins that were part of the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II, having ascended the throne in 1952 following the death of her father, King George VI, and her first coins being issued in 1953. The obverse front side of the 1959 halfpenny displays the first definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the artist and sculptor Mary Gillick. This portrait is characterized by its fresh, youthful, and idealized depiction of the young queen, portraying her facing right and wearing a laurel wreath, a classical symbol of honor and victory, instead of a crown, giving it a more natural and regal appearance compared to later portraits that would adopt a more formal and mature representation. Surrounding her effigy is the Latin legend, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Brit, OMN, Regina F. Laughing Face, which translates as Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith. The abbreviation, Brit, OMN, refers to Britanniarum Omnium, meaning, of all the Britons, an inscription that alluded to the United Kingdom and the remaining British territories and Commonwealth. The phrase, FD, or Fidei Defensor, signifies, Defender of the Faith, a title held by English and later British monarchs since the reign of Henry VIII. The reverse back side of the 1959 halfpenny features the iconic design of a sailing ship, HMS Golden Hind, the famous galleon of Sir Francis Drake, the Elizabethan navigator, privateer, and explorer who completed the second recorded circumnavigation of the globe between 1577 and 1580. This design, created by Sir Thomas Humphrey Paget, was first introduced in 1937 under King George VI and remained on the halfpenny coin throughout its existence until its demonetization. The Golden Hind symbolizes England's naval heritage, maritime exploration, and the adventurous spirit of the First Elizabethan age, making it symbolically fitting for the reign of the Second Elizabeth. The detailed depiction shows the ship in full sail, with intricate rigging, billowing sails, and waves beneath, capturing a sense of movement and strength. Above the ship is the inscription, halfpenny, and below it is the date, 1959. The denomination is clear and prominent, important in an era when coins of many small values circulated, including the farthing, 1/4 penny, 1d, 3d, 3d, 6d, 6d, shilling, 12d, florin, 24d, and half crown, 30d. The edge of the coin is plain, smooth, without any milling or lettering, which was typical for this denomination. The physical specifications of the 1959 halfpenny follow the standard for this coin type. It was minted in bronze, composed of approximately 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, had a weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 25.48 millimeters, and a thickness of about 1.6 millimeters. It was a relatively small and lightweight coin but still substantial enough to handle easily and to circulate widely without significant wear for several years. The Royal Mint, located at Tower Hill in London during this period before its later move to Llantrisant, Wales, in the 1970s, was responsible for the production of this coin. The mintage for the 1959 halfpenny was high, with around 64,973,000 coins produced for circulation, making it a common issue at the time. No special mint marks or varieties were produced for circulation in that year, and the coin was primarily intended for everyday use. However, some high-quality specimen or uncirculated examples exist, which were either specially struck or well preserved by collectors, and these can fetch higher values on the numismatic market today. The historical context of 1959 adds another layer of meaning to this coin. This was a period of recovery and modernization for Britain, emerging from the post-World War II austerity years and entering a phase of economic growth under the leadership of Prime Minister Harold Macmillan. It was a time of industrial development, growing consumer culture, and the gradual transformation of British society as it moved towards the 1960s. Queen Elizabeth II was still early in her reign, and her image on the coinage represented both continuity with Britain's past and the youthful optimism of a new era. The pre-decimal monetary system was still in full use, and coins such as the halfpenny formed an integral part of daily commerce. From a numismatic and collector's perspective, the 1959 halfpenny is generally not considered rare in circulated condition due to its high mintage and widespread use. Circulated examples are commonly found and are typically valued at 10 pence to 50 pence, depending on their state of preservation. However, well-preserved examples in extremely fine EF uncirculated UNC or brilliant uncirculated BU condition can command higher prices, typically ranging between £2 and £5, with some pristine specimens fetching even more, particularly if they retain much of their original mint red luster. Coins with significant toning, unique patina, or those graded by professional services such as NGC or PCGS can also achieve premium values. The grading of this coin is based on the standard British and international grading systems. A coin in fine F condition would show moderate wear on high points, with details visible but softened. Very fine VF coins would have moderate circulation wear but more visible details, especially in the rigging of the golden hind. Extremely fine EF examples would show only light wear on the highest points, while uncirculated UNC coins would exhibit no wear, with sharp details and some remaining mint luster. Brilliant uncirculated BU coins have full mint brilliance and are often found only in special sets or collections. The cultural and symbolic significance of the HMS Golden Hind design also makes this coin historically appealing. By featuring a ship associated with England's age of exploration, the coin linked the new Elizabethan era with the maritime triumphs of the 16th century, reinforcing a sense of tradition and national pride. This was particularly poignant in the mid-20th century when Britain was redefining its global role after the decline of its empire and the rise of the Commonwealth. The 1959 halfpenny was demonetized in August 1969, 2 years before decimalization officially took effect on the 15th of February 1971. This demonetization marked the end of its legal tender status, and many coins were withdrawn from circulation and melted down for their metal content. However, millions survived and remain in collections, attics, and coin dealers' inventories. Today, it serves as a reminder of the pre-decimal currency system, which many older Britons still recall with nostalgia. In terms of collecting, the 1959 halfpenny appeals to several groups: type collectors assembling sets of pre-decimal coins, date collectors aiming to complete the series of halfpennies from George VI and Elizabeth II, and historical enthusiasts interested in mid-20th century Britain. It is also a popular birth year coin for those born in 1959, making it a frequent choice for gifts, framed displays, and commemorative collections. The manufacturing process of this coin in 1959 followed traditional minting techniques of the era: blanking, cutting round blanks from bronze sheets, annealing, softening the blanks through heat treatment, upsetting, creating the raised rim, and striking, impressing the design using high-pressure dies. Coins were struck in massive numbers with steel dies that produced the sharp details of the Golden Hind and the youthful portrait of the Queen. While the 1959 halfpenny is generally considered a common coin, its historical value outweighs its face value in modern terms. It represents a time when Britain was in transition, when even the smallest coins were cherished for their purchasing power, and when the nation's currency still carried designs steeped in maritime heritage and imperial history. In conclusion, the 1959 Elizabeth II halfpenny, 1/2 D, is not just a tiny bronze coin, it is a tangible piece of Britain's numismatic heritage. It tells the story of a young queen's early reign, a traditional yet evolving monetary system, and a nation that valued every denomination in its pockets. Though demonetized and worth little in spending terms today, it remains cherished by collectors, historians, and those with a love for the artistry and legacy of British coinage. Next coin. The 1945 United Kingdom halfpenny, 1/2d coin is an iconic piece of British pre-decimal coinage, minted during the reign of King George VI, father of Queen Elizabeth II, and reflects the turbulent historical period of the final year of the Second World War and the beginning of Britain's post-war transition. This coin is part of a monetary system where £1 sterling was divided into 20 shillings, and each shilling contained 12 pence, making £1 equal to 240 pence, with the halfpenny representing 1/240th of a pound. Despite its small face value, the halfpenny was an essential denomination in everyday transactions, particularly during the wartime and immediate post-war period when every penny mattered for rationed goods, public transport fares, and daily shopping. The obverse front side of the 1945 halfpenny bears the portrait of King George VI, designed by Thomas Humphrey Paget HP, whose initials can be found at the base of the portrait. This effigy, first used in 1937, depicts the king facing left, as tradition dictates the monarch's portrait alternates direction from one reign to the next. George VI is shown bareheaded, with a dignified and realistic expression, embodying stability and resilience during a time when Britain was enduring great hardship due to war. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin inscription, Georgievs VD, G, BR, OMN, REXF laughing face Eind, Imp, which translates as, George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. The inclusion of Eind, Imp, Emperor of India, is significant, as India was still under British rule in 1945, though this title would later be removed in 1949 after India gained independence in 1947. The reverse back side of the coin features one of the most famous and enduring designs in British coinage history, the HMS Golden Hind, the galleon of Sir Francis Drake, symbolizing England's maritime heritage and exploration during the First Elizabethan Age. This design was also created by Thomas Humphrey Paget, introduced in 1937 during George VI's reign, and remained on the halfpenny until its demonetization. The image shows the ship in full sail on the sea, with intricate details in the rigging and sails, conveying a sense of movement and naval power. Above the ship is the inscription, halfpenny, while below it is the date, 1945, indicating its year of minting. The edge of the coin is plain, smooth, which was standard for this denomination, and the simplicity of the edge provided ease of production and handling. The metal composition of the 1945 halfpenny is bronze, made up of approximately 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin, the standard alloy for bronze British coins of that era. It weighed 5.67 grams, had a diameter of 25.48 millimeters, and a thickness of about 1.6 millimeters, making it a medium-sized coin by pre-decimal standards. The coin was struck by the Royal Mint in London, as production had not yet moved to Llantrisant in Wales, which became the primary minting facility in the 1970s. The mintage for the 1945 halfpenny was relatively high, with around 81,194,400 coins produced for circulation, as Britain was still in wartime recovery mode and required substantial quantities of low-value coins for the economy. There were no official proof sets issued for general collectors in 1945 due to the wartime constraints, though a few specimen strikes may exist for archival or presentation purposes. Historically, the year 1945 was momentous, marking the end of World War II in both Europe, May 1945, and the Pacific, August 1945. Britain was transitioning from wartime austerity to a new phase of reconstruction under the leadership of Prime Minister Winston Churchill, until July 1945, and later Clement Attlee after the Labour Party's landslide election victory. Rationing was still in place, industry was shifting from war production to civilian needs, and the British public was adapting to peacetime life. The halfpenny, though of small value, played a practical role in this economic environment where coins were essential for daily trade, especially as paper currency was generally reserved for higher denominations. From a numismatic perspective, the 1945 halfpenny is considered a common date within the George VI series due to its large mintage. Circulated examples are easily obtainable, with values typically ranging from 10 pence to 50 pence depending on condition. However, coins in extremely fine EF uncirculated UNC or brilliant uncirculated BU condition are more collectible and may range between £2 and £5, with coins showing full original red or red-brown mint luster being especially prized by collectors. Professional grading services such as NGC or PCGS may certify such coins, with high-grade examples occasionally fetching higher premiums. The grading of this coin follows the traditional British numismatic scale. A coin in fine F condition shows moderate to heavy wear with major details still visible. Very fine VF examples display moderate wear but retain clear ship rigging and portrait details. Extremely fine EF coins show light wear on the highest points, and uncirculated UNC coins retain sharp features with no wear but may exhibit bag marks from the minting process. Brilliant uncirculated BU coins are of the highest standard, often with full brilliance and minimal imperfections. The cultural and symbolic aspects of the 1945 halfpenny are tied to both the maritime theme of the Golden Hind and the wartime spirit of Britain. The choice of Sir Francis Drake's ship as the reverse design was a reminder of England's historic naval power and resilience, qualities especially resonant during the years of World War II when the British Navy played a critical role in defending the nation and maintaining supply routes. The design also subtly linked the wartime generation with the Elizabethan age of exploration, courage, and expansion. The legal tender status of the halfpenny lasted until August 1969, when it was demonetized as part of the preparations for decimalization, which took effect on the 15th of February 1971. After demonetization, many of these coins were withdrawn and melted down, though a large number survive in collections and numismatic markets due to their historical significance and nostalgic value. Collectors today often seek the 1945 halfpenny to complete a set of George VI coins or to own a birth year coin for 1945, which holds special meaning for individuals born in the year the Second World War ended. The coin also serves as an educational piece, illustrating the pre-decimal monetary system, the artistic style of mid-20th century coinage, and the history of a nation in transition. In terms of manufacturing and minting techniques, the 1945 halfpenny was struck using high-tonnage presses that impressed the detailed designs onto bronze blanks. The production process involved blanking, cutting coin blanks from bronze sheets, annealing, softening the metal through heat treatment, upsetting, creating the raised rim, and striking with steel dies. Despite being a mass-produced coin, the craftsmanship of Paget's design ensured a high level of detail, particularly in the intricate rigging of the Golden Hind and the facial features of George VI. Today, the 1945 halfpenny holds little intrinsic monetary value due to the low worth of its metal content and its common availability in circulated condition, but its historical and cultural value is far greater. It represents the resilience of Britain during and after World War II, the reign of a monarch who led the nation through war and into recovery, and the craftsmanship of British coinage before the advent of modern decimal coins. In conclusion, the 1945 George VI halfpenny, 1/2 D, is more than just a small bronze coin, it is a piece of living history. It reflects a nation at the turning point of global conflict, a monarchy that symbolized unity and steadfastness, and a currency system that served Britain for centuries. While its face value is negligible today and its market price modest for common grades, in the world of numismatics and history, it stands as a valuable artifact of its time. Please like and subscribe my channel.